After eons of tyranny, the demon god Adir was finally overthrown by humanity. Though fear of his terrible power endured. And so was formed the hallowed Sentinels, our duty being to stand vigil for signs of his return. Even exile to another realm could not silence the fallen god forever. And in time, Adir's malignant influence pervaded the world once more. In his hunger for vengeance, Adir orchestrated the return of his demonic army. Light was swallowed by shadow, and with it, hope. A new, grim champion arises, the Dark Crusader. And perhaps it will indeed come to pass that only they who shun the light in order to fight the darkness possess the power to defy a god.
Glorious, forgive me. I'd steer this weapon of deliverance to a worthier servant than I.
Possessed the metal for this, Crusader. You failed.
Lo, the latest receiver of his grace. Great potential dwells within you, doubtless, for you to be chosen thusly. And so does Aureus' wisdom guide my hand in the bestowment of this subsequent boon. Your flesh has been made sacrosanct with the mark of the Dark Crusaders. Prove yourself worthy of this gift. Seek me in the bowels of the bridge. Our work is of the greatest import.
Give me that lamp. You carry the lamp long enough, and you'll see history repeat, over and over. If you don't want to keep retreading the same ground yourself should you fall, make use of this.
O holy Aureus, by your radiance grant me the strength to continue to endure these dark days, to lay bare the path to salvation for my wayward brothers and sisters, so we may walk it together, and to strike down all those who would see our will defied. Even as our suffering continued, I honored my pledge of patience to the exactor. And yet you now appear before me, a stranger, bearing what was not yours to receive. A betrayal made flesh, and one I cannot brook. Brothers and sisters, you honor us and all who came before you with your sacrifices. While I wish they were unnecessary, my wishes will not ease your suffering, but I pray my sorcery does.
Welcome, Dark Crusader. I have no doubt in my assessment of you as one worthy of the monumental task which lies before us, Crusader. My name is Dunmire, and I am an exactor of the Dark Crusaders, the holy order of which you are now an honored member. The Church of Orient Radiance has assigned to me the duty of purging Mornstead of its Rogar blight, and ensuring the ancient tyrant Adir knows no liberation from his enduring imprisonment. While the schism between the Church and Judge Cleric is of long standing, she and her hallowed sentinels, now perverted, did at least construct Mornstead's radiant beacons, which have prevented Adir's return for centuries. But now, we stand corrupted and on the verge of collapse. It is to these 5 beacons you must turn your eye. Use the Umbra Lamp to cleanse them of Adir's destructive influence, and deliver salvation to a world on the brink of perdition. Rogar and Hallowed Sentinel alike will offer you no quarter, so remember, though Aureus' mercy is without limit, yours should not be.
Through Aureus' divine will, I live again. It's a miracle. And to think I raised my sword to you, when all alone you were a divine instrument sent by him to deliver my death and rebirth, and bring clarity. Forgive me, Lampbearer. I'm Pietà, of the Hallowed Sentinels. And as Aureus sustains me, so too will I sustain you. Whether by making manifest your potential or through my healing blood, contained within the sanguinarics you carry. Should you find any saintly quintessences, bring them to me, and they can bolster the power of my blood further still. The beacons must be cleansed, the hallowed sentinels restored, and Adir's malignancy eradicated. Through whatever is to come, fellow chosen of Aureus, we stand together in service of him.
So the Exactors found himself a new instrument, as Exactors are wont to do. And given that lamp was intended for me should his paladin fall, and yet now here you are, Lamp-bearer. Well, it seems I was right to doubt the value of a Dark Crusader's word. I'm Stoneman, captain of the Fidelis, a group of good men and women who've made a stand against the madness which has possessed the rest of the Hallowed Sentinels. We made a vow to restore our order to its former glory, whatever the cost to ourselves. And by Judge Cleric's grace, we'll honor that vow. That heretical umbral lamp and the Dark Crusaders are necessary evils in these dire times, as are you, it would seem. Perhaps our aims will align further, or perhaps not.
While the beacon should remain your most pressing task, I would have you perform another for me concurrently. Seek out and return to me the items which stand as proof of the Hallowed Sentinel's heretical deviations and practices. For only in the study of such can we hope to turn them towards the true light of Aureus. This land is overflowing with sin, so I expect this undertaking to offer you little difficulty. Also, say nothing of this to Pietà or the Fidelis captain. They are already conflicted. Troubling them further only endangers them and our mission.
The lamp must be born until the favored child makes themselves known. Only then can the remaining carrion of creation finally return to the void.
Ha! That's it, isn't it? Oh, the lamp of immortality. And the genuine article. Not a useless, empty vessel like the one I saw that witless fool bumbling around with. I've learned a little since coming to Mornstead about that lamp and the awful mission to which it's attached. I hope you recognize that frightful burden for what it is. In truth, what's been done to you is downright cruel. Of course, some people are born into roles of tremendous responsibility. My name is Andreas of Ebb, esteemed scion of nobility, but far more than that, descendant of the great ruler Antanas himself, as proven by my family's book of lineage, for one. That's right. Through my veins flows the blood of the legendary hero who defied Adir and the Rogar and saved the whole world, only to be betrayed and murdered by a common criminal. So you'll understand a man of my pedigree cannot simply stand idle while an unfortunate victim such as yourself remains shackled to such a grim fate. Give me the lamp, and let me shoulder your burden, friend. What say you? No? It saddens me to see you bring such agony down upon your own head. I hope you see sense and reconsider. My offer stands as long as necessary. After all, what man of breeding would turn away from one so clearly in need?
Careful! If you're headed for Pilgrim's Perch, friend, the hallowed sentinels don't welcome everyone. Not even a faithful pilgrim who's crossed countless miles of land and sea to join them. All I wanted was to serve the divine judge cleric, but they deemed me unworthy and chased me off. What's a poor, rejected disciple to do now, I ask you? I gave away most of what little I owned before I left Perdam, but if you've got some traveling of your own to do, then here, take this. I know it doesn't look like much, but it's been a dependable companion to me. It's a harsh wind that blows in Mornstead, but a tree that doesn't bend breaks, I suppose.
Oh, hallowed sentinels. Most blessed representatives of the Holy Judge Cleric. My soul soars to see...
Hold your tongue, pilgrim. And on your feet. You are on sacred ground, and we are yet to see whether you are deserving of that honor.
I assure you, I have dedicated my life to the teachings of Judge Cleric. My faith in her and her divine works is boundless.
Pray it is, for our Immaculate Lady's light will lay bare the truth, and in radiance there is judgment.
Rick's welcome comes behind the edge of a sentinel's blade, more often than not in this place. Makes me curious how you're still breathing. I suppose the promise of salvation from one hand and the threat of death from the other keeps a pilgrim obedient. On second look, you're not just another deluded lamb, are you? You know, not long ago, I saw a dark crusader carrying that same lamp. Now it's in your hands. Again, curious. I know they'd see you rejuvenate those obscene monuments preventing Adir's return. Don't. That's a threat. But also advice. Adir rewards the faithful. There's salvation here if you want it, but you won't find it in the light of the sun or that lamp.
Aye, so it goes. Should you end up one of the few to earn a vestige, I'll tend to it, as I do, for whatever it's worth, and until I'm in the ground myself. The Hallowed Sentinels and Rogar will both show you horror enough, but nothing like what that lamp brings into view. And remember, you look into the shadows, might be the shadows look back. Mind yourself, you're on a treacherous path. And forever's never as long as you think. Mind yourself, you...
A warm breeze blowing softly across the sand. The songs we used to sing. Little Daljaru's hand in mine. All so far away now. All gone. Mother. Father. I'm so sorry.
Damn sentinels and their damn bells. Mad bastards. Insult to Gerlinda's skills. Waste of her time. Oh, hold that key. No one gets the better of Gerlinda for long. Finally, make a slave of Gerlinda. Ha!
You made a slave of me.
Oh,
So, you're starting to see through their lies. Church, crusaders, sentinels, corrupt hypocrites, butchers and madmen, the lot of them. Adir, the one true God, stands on the verge of finally returning and restoring order to this broken world. And what do? Defy him. Fucking heretics. Name's Damaros. And I'm wondering if Adir might have a purpose for you. It takes strength to survive in this world, and Mornstead's no different. Adir's got no time for the weak, and neither should you. Cut them down, and take what they've got for yourself.
Ah, you again. Gerlinda found herself a place to do a little business. She hasn't seen any other Groak since arriving in this shithole kingdom. But, Groak or human, sturdy armor and lethal weapons are a universal language. Speaking of business, Gerlinde has something you might be able to help with. She's looking for some items. This vining bag of bones left in Mornstead a long time ago.
Galinda is undeserving of what she seeks, traveler. And self-centered besides. You would do well not to aid her in...
You know full well the agony Gerlinda can inflict on you as long as you wear those manacles, Sparky.
My name is not...
Silence! Annoying as he is, Sparky does possess certain very rare knowledge, which he refuses to share. But he carves this knowledge in crystal, and now Gerlinda wants those crystal tablets to help in her runesmithing. So, if you find any in your travels, bring them to Gerlinda, and she'll do right by you.
As I would not to Galinda, I will not reveal the locations of the tablets to you, traveler, even upon pain of death.
Apologies for the dour mood you found me in when last we met, but I've perked up since then. Found myself a new purpose, at least something to keep me occupied while in Mornstead. I'm going to be a traveling merchant. Please, peruse my wares. Hopefully you'll see something of interest. Some might use the word scavenger, true, but that sounds somewhat judgmental, don't you think? I'm just putting to use that which has been discarded. You could even say that there's a sort of nobility in it. Well, perhaps just a little.
Come to Orleans, my child. Yes. Enter my embrace. Oh, may your flesh sustain my divinity.
Bless you. Bless you.
I hope it's not for any kind of glory, as you won't find a sniff of that in Mornstead. And certainly I hope it's not in the name of the hallowed Sentinels, because take my word for it, they're no better than the Rogar. I've got many a scar to prove it. Whether you've embraced Umbral or struggle against it is none of my concern. Power is a sweet temptation, and the lamp will grant you that, sure enough. But don't confuse that with loyalty. Still, I'll not deny, I owe Umbral for giving me what it did. So the vestiges will be minded as long as I'm able. Name's Byron, by the way. I'll be around. Always am. Name's Byron, by the way.
That which pride and purpose become self-destruction and delusion, friend. But if you insist on continuing to punish yourself, then I suggest you venture into the woods, unnaturally frozen and home to terrors they may be. But they also contain one of the beacons to which you've dedicated yourself. And who knows what other treasures might be found there beneath the snow and ice. Mornstead may be little but a blood-soaked ruin at this point. The truth is that the rest of the world isn't far behind on the same path, even without the help of those grotesque Rogar. Our world is more conflicted than ever, with men of all stations, nations, and creeds at odds. They need someone to unite them and lead them, before they all tear each other apart like dogs. You look tired, friend. Haven't you already
You want this lamp, you Rogar bastard! Well, come on and take it!
You! How about some help? The sorcerer I was traveling with said the trinket I wore was actually some kind of ancient magical accessory. Said it would toughen my skin against harm if I let him reinvigorate it with his sorcery. As you can see, he did that sure enough. Stupid bastard. But he was a stupid bastard with coin, and a mercenary's got to make a living. Wilmot wanted protection for a journey to Mondstadt. He thought there was powerful magic here for the finding. But the coward ran off when some creatures appeared soon after I started petrifying. They couldn't take my head, but hopefully they hunted him down and made him a tree-out piece. So, looks like my blade's for hire again, when I can swing it. Get this damn thing off me, and I'll be in your debt. And who doesn't appreciate having a favor? Oh, that life is to being crawled off. Since you seem to know your way around sorcery, here, this thing's better off in your hands. And good riddance to it. I only had it because I won it in a game of dice. If I'd known what it really was, I'd have left it on the table. Never trust magic. My father taught me that. Well, you helped me out of a fix, so I owe you. But let me work some blood back into my limbs first. I feel like I've been sleeping on a stone floor for a month. Meet me at the bridge. Wilmark and I passed by there, and it seemed as safe a place as any you're likely to find in this dump of a kingdom. Then we'll talk. I don't know exactly what that lamp does, but I'd bear in mind what I said about magic if I were you. I don't know, but I'd bear in mind...
You are again. If having your eyes open to the Umbral realm hasn't driven you mad yet, then maybe you'll endure. Although you never really get used to it. You just learn to balance on the edge and ignore the whispers telling you to jump. I came to Mornstead once, a long time ago. I made a mistake, but now I'm going to put it right.
In death, may you continue to shine as the radiant paragon you are in life. And may your dedication to our cause be remembered evermore.
Hello, little friend. Do you want to play? I know some fun games. Are you hungry? What do you eat? You're smelly. Maybe I should give you a bath.
I intended to see if the ones who inhabit this swamp might be potential customers, but they seem quite focused on heads, including the removal of them. So, I thought it best to keep my distance, in case they took a liking to mine. Not that many ever have with this face, huh? It's an odd light that burns in your lamp, friend. Of course, in the darkest moments, the only light you ever really need is the light of Aureus. He watches over his followers. He just does so in curious ways sometimes, that's all.
Come now. You are half dead already. If anything, I'm merely helping you to your well-earned rest, while helping myself to your supplies.
In the name of Aureus, you...
Gods. That's all you people talk about. Aureus this and Adir that. You have no vision, no ambition. Just so desperate to be ruled. Well, despite what so many think, we have never needed gods to guide humanity. Only the right man for the task.
Who are you?
The future you won't live to see.
How do? Name's Justin. Hey, look at that. You're a lampy like me. Now can hurt is now we got these, eh? Wait till Melchior sees me next. I'll chop my own head off and come back and he won't believe his eyes. Melchior, he's my brother. He's a famous knight. He's fought dragons and giants and evil wizards and all sorts. Those spiky baddies only got the drop on us because they cheated. I fell down and got knocked on the head, and when I woke up, Melchior were gone. And he'd never leave me. They took him. But not to worry, I'll get him back and be a hero just like him. Well, I best be off soon. So long, Lampy. A nice man with a little moustache told me he saw the baddies taking Melchior towards the castle, and this was how to get there. And look, I found the helmet. The head that were in it fell right out and it fit perfect. That's a good sign, that is. Melchior said Mornstead were going to be the answer to all our problems. I don't know what problems we had, but Melchior knows best. Yes, he does. He'll sort everything out when I find him. Blimey, ain't half warm round here, though. The inserts and the fools are getting sleepy. Isn't that right, pal? See?
Elian, you can't just run off like this. You had everyone at the orphanage worried sick. I know it's not easy, but it can be a frightening place at times, so I want to give you something very special I've had since I was a little girl. When I used to get scared, I'd hold it very, very tightly, and that's when it would reveal its magic to me. And I'd know there was no need to be afraid. So The next time you get scared, I want you to be a brave girl and do the same thing. Understand? There's nothing to be afraid of, Elian. I promise.
Things in Mondstadt are bad. This. Centuries of madness and slaughter. Atrocity upon atrocity committed by man and woman. If all this really resulted from the presence of the room, then of the boons it might offer. Don't forget that lamp is a burden. But it's your burden, so bear it. Never turn to someone else to carry it for you.
Ooh, that is the spot. I feel like I could run a million billion miles. No monster better get in me way or it'll be for them. Look out.
I can't go back down there. I just can't. It's not the darkness or the hazards. It's the things the darkness shows you. Whispers to you. I close my eyes at night, and every time it's like I'm back down in the mine. Like I'm trapped, and I'll never escape, and I can't breathe, and there's something looming over me. Over the whole world. I feel like I'm losing my mind.
Music on the horizon. Perhaps that's what will fill the holes in the world. I'll dance in its wake, pluck it from the air and bring it home. It's not so far away. Not so far at all.
Honored nobles and fellow visionaries, you placed your trust in me. And did I not deliver on all of my promises? Your coffers overflow. Your influence has never been greater. And your every little desire and indulgence are fulfilled. As you deserve, as it should be. And while there are those who look upon us with contempt, who call us decadent, callous, depraved, these are merely the ignorant and envious whinings of the irrelevant. And what you have achieved so far, thanks to my guidance, well, that is merely the beginning.
Damn those overseer bastards! We told them this would happen! Oh, they'll pay for this! Come on, swing those pigs! Oh, just hold on, lads. We'll get you out of there!
Whoever took it, I swear! This vestige, it marks where Katrin fell. She was a lamp bearer like you. But far more than that, she was my love. I left a token here in her memory. A pendant I gave her a long time ago, and now it's gone! It's all I have left! Katrin and I were both hallowed sentinels. It's hard to imagine now. She was astounding. We fell in love, and we embraced what we had, even though the Order forbids it. They found out and made sure we paid for our sin with agony. In the end, they thought we were dead. But it was only Katrin's heart stopped, and not for long, thanks to the umbral lamp. But even as a lamp bearer, eventually there came a day when she fell. And didn't rise again. I'll find the bastard who took that pendant. You find them first, you tell me. Understand? There'll be blood for this desecration.
My friends, I know the journey here was arduous, and that since arriving in Mondstadt, we have suffered much. But take heart, for are we now not within reach of Adir himself? Do we not walk among the Rogar, our most holy brothers and sisters, born of Adir's very own divine marrow? Those heretical servants of the betrayer, Judge Cleric, may have driven us into the shadows, but are we not used to being condemned and hunted simply for our beliefs? Rest assured. Finally, the time of Adir's righteous return is nigh, and we who have remained faithful will be here to witness him usher in his glorious second reign.
You're my first customer today. I don't get many. I've got nice things, though. I like your lamp, but I know you won't trade it. A long time ago, I asked someone else who had a lamp like that if he'd trade it to me, and he called me a bad name and told me to go where he'd cut my head off. He was rude. There are lots of nasty people in Mornstead, but I'm quick and clever. And that's how I find so many amazing things to trade. I just found a necklace here in the mine, but you can't buy that. I'm keeping it for myself, because I love it so much. Have you seen any of my friends? They're a bit shy. They like to stay in the dark, but you can hear them. Well, they're not very friendly. But I still like knowing they're there. It means I'm not on my own.
What but an umbral-afflicted girl? That lamp's rotted your brain. Does this place look like somewhere a child could survive? Oh, I suppose I've seen stranger things in my time. All right. If there's a chance that's the case, then when I find her, I'll stay my hand. At least long enough to be sure.
Another unfortunate made a slave to unceasing hunger. I pity you. But, as bleak as this refuge may be, it is our refuge nonetheless. And you are not welcome here.
Do you really think you can do this to me? I'm the real power at the heart of this kingdom, not the royals, or you, or your imaginary sun god, or anyone else. Molstead rises and falls with me. And if you think I'll allow you to cast me into one of your damn fires, then you're even more insane than I thought! This is your last chance. If you know what's good for you, free me. Now!
Wait! Look! I've a fortune in coin and jewels right here in my hands. It's all yours. Take it. And I can get you more. A lot more. Just, please, don't!
This is wrong. This didn't happen. Things went bad. I had to fight my way out of Molstead. But it didn't happen like this. I'm not a monster.
You know who I am, so if I tell you that any conversations or dealings we may have are not to be spoken of to anyone, can I trust you understand the consequences should you choose otherwise? Good. Now, I know who you are as well, and I know you're a man experienced in acquiring items of an illicit nature, a practice I'm willing to overlook. Should you wish to use for it, tell me, what do you know of Rogar artifacts?
The moment I handed over the Rune of Adir and damned this entire kingdom for generations to come, I was tired, angry. I was never a man of faith, but I thought it better to entrust the rune to than a judge, and look around at what that decision cost. What good was the cleric if she couldn't destroy the rune, or prevent all this some other way? It's always the same story with gods or those like them. They pretend otherwise, but they're just as weak and flawed as those they lord over. But it's my own damn fault for relying on someone else in the first place. Even when I try to do the right thing, this is always how it ends.
Ian, but he wouldn't hear of it. Told us to keep an eye on things here. Said it was important. But I wonder at that. The thought of Captain Stommond out there alone, hounded by Rogar and their own corrupted brothers and sisters alike. I'll pray for his safe return. The thought of Captain Stommond out there alone, hounded by...
The captain was prepared to carry that umbral burden, even though the man already carries burden enough. Misplaced as it is. If your paths cross out there, you do right by him. Because lamp bearer you may be, but even lamp bearers feel pain just fine. Understand? Plenty of hallowed sentinels blind themselves to the true light one way or another. But we Fidelis follow Captain Stomund with our eyes wide open.
The tome was most enlightening. But it offered only the most minuscule glimpse into the depths of Umbral, fragmented suggestions of what I already suspected to be so much more. Those with an interest in Umbral are condemned as heretics by the Hallowed Sentinels, and typically incarcerated within their prison tower. I wonder at what morsels of Umbral insight might be found within those walls. Go and gather what you can.
Orreys, may your grace sustain me in these most desperate of days, and in the darkness through which I fight. For it seems to encroach ever closer, and I fear the weight of this profane work will crush me. Or worse. As ever, I turn to you in my moment of doubt, and will endeavor to remember that this glory that perturbs me so is merely a necessity in the performance of your will. And in that, I vow to be resolute. Please continue to hold my brother Samuel in your radiant embrace forevermore. In light we walk.
times I envy you and your woods York. Blessed peace. Perhaps I'll just damn the whole mess, toss my crown into the gorge, and live out here as a hermit.
You'd find me a wise and fair ruler.
Well, you learned it from me, after all.
But you'd never abandon your throne or your wife.
You're right. Of course, or my child.
You're going to be a father. Congratulations to you and Sophesi. King York the First has a certain ring to it, don't you think?
I'll bear that in mind.
Oh, that's better. My fingers and toes are going all tingly. When I get to the castle, maybe me and Melchior could live there forever, instead of moving somewhere new like we always do. I'd like to live in a castle.
My lord, I'll say once more, if you'd heed my skills, then also you should heed my warning.
Can you do it or not?
I know enough to try, but I've made clear the risks, both in the casting of the magic itself and what might be the results.
Bring her back.
I was aware of it, of course, but I'd never seen snow before coming here. It's beautiful and cold. Tell of this umbral lamp-bearer mission in my wanderings. It sounds simply harrowing. A burden like that. All that pain and death with no respite or reward in sight. It makes me wonder what sort of person you would have to be to, well, bear it.
Such a heretical burden. I cannot help but feel like this path only leads me, leads all of us, further from Aureus's light, not closer to it. Exactor, there must be some other way.
So you deem my guidance injudicious?
No,
And your soul of greater significance than the world entire, and all other souls upon it? No. For one whose family name bears the shame it does, Isaac, you exhibit an unfortunate tendency toward recalcitrance. I would be discontented if refusals to which your brother succumbed was confirmed a familial sin. Look to the damnatory skin you carry, Paladin, for that is your true burden, not the umbral lamp.
I can taste it, like blood in my mouth. They all want me to give in to despair, but that's for the weak. The rune is mine. Always has been. And I'm going to take it back. Let the gods bestow their grace on anyone who tries to stop me, like these fools. There's no salvation here. No redemption. Not for anyone. Let Moonstead and every meaningless life in it burn. There's no salvation here. No redemption. Not for anyone. Let Moonstead and every meaningless life in it burn.
So, this is where those men more deserving than I dwell, in the divine light of Judge Cleric's grace. It's quite something, isn't it? The sights, the sounds, the smells.
Look, you men, at the wickedness which can take root within the walls of our own house if we falter in our vigilance, our rigorousness for even the briefest moment. See how malevolence and greed and weakness can twist the souls of those who once swore a solemn oath, and then turn them away from the light of our eternal lady, where they skulk and plot in shadow, waiting until they can enact their most foul betrayals. But above all else, heed what will be the fate of all traitors who submit to sin.
Now, Pilgrim, deliver the punishment which was decreed.
Rector, forgive me, is this not overly severe for the offense in question? To my ears, my fellow pilgrim's words were innocuous.
Are you refusing a hallowed sentinel's command? Because you will find the punishment for such is far more severe than mere flogging.
No, Rector. I apologize.
I suppose we should get back before someone catches on.
How can time pass so quickly, eh?
I know.
Before you go, I've got you something.
A pendant? Byron, it's beautiful.
I know you can't actually wear it in case someone sees it. But still, I'll take joy in knowing you have it. At least. As long as you like it, of course.
Like I said, it's beautiful. Thank you. Now I feel bad for not bringing you something.
You are all I'll ever need, Katrin. I love you.
I love you too.
You look exhausted, Pietà. Do you bring any better news?
I'm afraid not, my lady. The number of those affected rises, and all my blood and our healing sorceries can do is offer temporary relief. And little at that. This disease is unnatural, and I believe I know why. My lady, I believe this corruption to be Rogar in nature.
Impossible. The beacon stand, and Adir and the Rogar remain imprisoned.
I assure you,
Continue tending to the ailing as best you can, until you find the true cause of this malady. I have every faith.
Sanctimonious, deluded fools, walking in light so bright, but they're blind like everyone else. Can't see for the glare, can't see the light is a lie. Not a single good eye between them, but eyes in umbral. Oh yes, always and everywhere. Holding my gaze over miles and miles and years and years. She sees eternal. I look upon her.
Byron. Byron. You passed out for a moment.
Oh, sorry. That bastard Tancred got a bit carried away during our last chat. But it's for what he's done to you that I'm gonna kill him.
Oh, forget about that. Do you regret it?
Regret what?
Us.
Oh, not for a single second. I wouldn't change a thing.
Not even the capture and the torture.
Aye. All right, maybe that.
little tablet. Give it to Galinda.
With that tablet, Galinda will have no further use for me. But in my possession, it will allow me to finally cast off these shackles. All I ask for, traveler, is my freedom.
You shut your mouth. Don't do anything foolish, human. Not when we're both so close to getting what we want. Just think of the power Galinda can give you. Yes! Galinda can already hear its sweet secrets whispering to her.
A predictable choice, traveler. Perhaps I was foolish to expect another.
Oh, now don't be sour, Sparky. All that wonderful runic knowledge you so selfishly kept locked up in that big head of yours can now be put to use by someone who recognizes its value. Work like this takes time, human. But Galinda will have a little something for you soon enough. Galinda's little helper returns. Sparky? Galinda's back to working alone and sharper at her crafts than ever. Also, that stubborn sad sack did come in useful one last time. Here. Galinda will be moving on soon, back to the Sturlevo Commonwealth. Full of squabbling, short-sighted half-wits it may be, but with her new runesmithing expertise, Galinda has some scores to settle.
You would defile this sacred place with this horror.
With your very own hands.
Monster, does your blasphemy know no bounds?
If only it were that easy. Brother, we have a guest.
Another sinner.
Not so satisfying when you're on the receiving end. Now you will know darkness, brother.
Quiet.
You can strut around in your grand armor with your imperious voice and your oh so unshakable faith. And you can maim and murder anyone our little black heart desires.
I said be quiet.
But you're only embarrassing yourself like some talentless child mummer. They don't respect you or fear you, no matter what you do to them. They all see clearly through your pathetic facade to the powerless, hypocritical coward you truly are.
Enough!
Shh, sweet brother. You should get some rest.
Still live. After a fashion, Revenant. This threshold will mean nothing to you, yet it was once forbidden for any man to set foot on the grounds of the Abbey. Just one of the many edicts to crumble with the Order's collapse. Still, I hesitate to trespass, but our Immaculate Lady waits beyond. So trespass I must. Judge Cleric cannot know what's become of her hallowed sentinels, or the land we were sworn to protect. She would never allow such atrocities to be committed in her name. I just need an audience with her. When she knows the truth, she'll purify the Order, and the Rogar can finally be driven from this holy soil. Pietar is certain of your role as a servant of Aureus Will. I've yet to see enough to believe that. But I'll admit, there's time yet.
Touches the present here. This darkness seeps into more than my eyes. And yet how can darkness be so illuminating? I must exact the truth of all of it. That is what I must do, who I am. I must throw open the doors to my mind and invite it like an honored guest to supper. But no poisoned bread. On my word as a mockingbird. Let us feast. It is close now. Certain, I seek a hole for my skull. Bring your saws, your borers, assault my corpse. Glory fills me and surrounds me. One must be one with the other. The masquerade has ended. The veil has fallen. And this absurd tangle of wet meat is undone by her majestic beauty!
For a fashion, Revenant. This threshold will mean nothing to you, yet it was once forbidden for any man to set foot on the grounds of the Abbey. Just one of the many edicts to crumble with the Order's collapse. Still, I hesitate to trespass, but our Immaculate Lady waits beyond. So trespass I must. What's become of her hallowed sentinels? Or the land we were sworn to protect? She would never allow such atrocities to be committed in her name. I just need an audience with her. When she knows the truth, she'll purify the Order, and the Rogar can finally be driven from this holy soil. Pietar is certain of your role as a servant of Aureus Will. I've yet to see enough to believe that. But I'll admit, there's time yet.
And any descrier of the dawn found trespassing will be severely punished for their transgression. This place is now sanctified in the name of Judge Cleric, and no longer a sanctuary for the ignorant and misguided.
Please. This has been our own for generations. We've always kept our hearts open to the hallowed sentinels.
Be grateful that by Judge Cleric's mercy, you are allowed to leave with those wayward hearts still beating. Repent, and turn to her for salvation, while you still can.
The Abbey is the only home I've ever known besides the orphanage. It pains me to see it now. As it does to see my afflicted brothers and sisters who roam its halls and courts. But I take comfort in knowing that salvation is finally at hand for all. Except those who instigated this corruption.
Before, Judge Cleric declared it the Hallowed Sentinel's new home and sanctified it to take a mundane thing and transform it into something magnificent and holy is miraculous indeed. I may not be wise, but one thing I have learned is that you never really know what life's going to throw at you. So, I hope you'll consider this friendly advice, not me thinking of my own profit. If there's anything amongst my merchandise that you've had your eye on, perhaps you should consider buying it now, just to be certain.
And as I willingly relinquish this token of my past life, so too do I relinquish my past entire. For I have been reborn in the light of our eternal Lady and proven myself worthy of being counted amongst the ranks of her blessed servants, the hallowed sentinels. To her and our holy work do I commit my blood, my life, my future, and my soul. In Radiant's judgment.
A seed into what you see now in a single day. One of Judge Cleric's miracles to edify her disciples. There once hung from it an ancient banner carried into battle long ago by Our Lady herself. A symbol of more virtuous times. And one torn down and disgraced since. If you should find the pieces of the banner during your journey, bring them to me. I'll mend what's been broken, carry it with me into the heart of the Empyrean, and present it to Judge Cleric as a reminder of what the Hallowed Sentinels once were. I have too much Hallowed Sentinel blood on my hands to expect or deserve redemption, but I must do what I can for those who can still be saved. I prayed the banner had not been destroyed completely, and Our Lady heard me. It's a sign there is still hope. And I don't overlook your part in this, Lamp Bearer. Perhaps Pietà was right about you after all. Bless us. The banner will be complete again, as will the Hallowed Sentinels. When first we met, Lampbearer, I did you a disservice by deeming you nothing but Dunmaya's instrument. But you've proven yourself to be on the side of righteousness, and for that, I thank you.
Must see Judge Cleric on a matter of the utmost urgency. Please, stand aside.
Our Immaculate Lady does not wish to be disturbed, Pietà.
This sickness, this corruption, spreading across the kingdom is out of control, and our efforts to cleanse it have devolved into callous butchery. People, including our own brothers and sisters, are suffering and dying.
We speak for Judge Cleric, Pietà. Should she have need of you, you will be summoned.
As for those who fall victim to the corruption, perhaps they are merely proving their souls to be undeserving of salvation. After all.
As you bless these flowers with your radiance and help them flourish, so too bless me, so I may help all of my loyal brothers and sisters flourish and continue to prove myself worthy of their faith. This land has known much darkness, but together, with hope and devotion in our hearts, we will not only stand ever vigilant in its defense, but guide its ascent into your loving light. God, you know that better than anyone. I've tried for so long and in so many ways to make these people see that what I do is what's best not just for this kingdom, but the whole world. I know Adir and the Rogar better than anyone. And they have the temerity to question me, to condemn my actions. I wonder what you'd say to me now if you could. I miss your wise counsel, but your presence still brings me strength, and that's what I need now.
Aberrant child, you will know peace.
I will incinerate your soul with holy fire for this profanation. Yeah! Lowly blasphemer!
Make your cut, Ermengarde.
With all the assistance I've given you so far, it's time you return the favor and do something for me. I was minding my own business up above when I was attacked by some barbarian with a hammer, more animal than man. He fled when he saw he was no match for me, but only now do I realize I must have dropped my book of lineage during the fight. I won't have proof of my birthright lying disrespected in the dirt somewhere. Find it and bring it.
You'll have to do better than that if you want this lamp, coward.
Keep your distance! I warn you! Ha! There it is! These fresh scuffs. Were they caused by your carelessness? Well, you performed the task required of you, so I suppose I can overlook it. In fact, to show the extent of my gratitude, I'd be glad to fight alongside you at some point during your travels. It's the least I can do. Having a decorated swordsman like Andreas of Ebb at your side is no small privilege, friend. Treasure it. No small
Diviner dear, witness this offering I make to you.
I didn't expect to say it, but you were right about the girl. And to think I almost... Anyway, cooler heads prevailed, eh? And it's to you I owe that, so thank you. It took some doing, but I convinced her to stick with me, so I can keep an eye on her. I can't undo what's already been done to her, but she's just a child. She deserves some kind of a chance at life, at happiness. I'm probably an old fool for thinking I can help, but I have to try. Aye, after all that, I let her keep the pendant. Seeing how happy it makes her, well, I reckon it's in the right hands. Speaking of which, I want you to have this. I've never had any real use for it, if I'm honest. But it might do you some good. Whatever other choices you might make, Lambera, you did right by the child. And me. Good luck. Whatever other, you did right by the child.
Hello, Byron's friend. I like Byron. He's nice. He asked if I'd like to leave Mornstead and live somewhere safer. I asked him where, and he said he wasn't sure yet. But I said yes. Mornstead's not a very nice place. He says we'll go soon. It'll be an adventure. I can't wait to see all the pretty things out in the world. Byron says there's all kinds of beauty out there.
Their words are veiled when they speak to me of it, but I know what they think. That by marrying such a minor noble, I'm putting my own happiness before the good of the royal line and the welfare of Mornstead. But they don't see in her all of the things that I do. This kingdom is my home. I will do everything I can to protect it, as I always have. As you did, Mother. But I refuse to accept that requires forsaking the woman I love. Sufficia only makes me a better man, a better king. And Mornstead will be all the stronger with her at my side.
Hello again, Deathless One. I'm glad you were able to free yourself. Perhaps it was the Golden Gallon. I couldn't see him by firelight. Witness the woe of living. When I carry only thunder, will you bring news of this fallen? Poor thing. Why so? Shall I sprout petals of flame? Acceptable attire in which to mourn the lingering absence of a little lord.
As you can see, I'm a man of my word. For honor and camaraderie. As you can see, for honor and camaraderie.
No. No, hold that forked tongue, my lord. Oh, you who congregate at royal feet and pour poison in royal ears, who writhe and slither. Forget this conniver, Deathless One. He's just one of many who sired misery and scandal. You have a kind face. Here, a sweet scent to brighten your day. Although, beware its sour memories. Still a city? Perhaps I will consult a scholar. Or a corpse.
Gusting ancestors, stumbling along, singing, snuffling, Hey, what's that? Oh, Jimmy looking.
I can't help but envy his ability to sleep so soundly.
It soothes him having you near, and I know how exhausted you are. This sickness...
Can wait. The situation with those fanatics is precarious, and every day it seems the knife's edge on which Mornstead rests becomes thinner. I won't allow my weakness to be the ruination of my kingdom.
It's not weakness, Bramis. You know that.
My love, please. Not now. Let us just enjoy the moment.
Let us hurry, Your Majesty. I can take you beyond the castle walls, but then I'm afraid I must return. Too long, and my absence will be noted.
You've already done more for Edivar and I than I can ever hope to repay, Fitzroy. Thank you.
You and the prince are not away yet, and I could not stand idle like so many others and allow the king to carry out such a heinous act.
My husband is not the man he once was, but he will not take my son.
Words. Faded and half-ruined or freshly wet with ink, they can comfort like an embrace or pierce like blades.
King Bramis, the hallowed sentinels must be stopped. We cannot tolerate this any longer. Offenses. But we all know there will be many more and greater crimes to come. Surely Mornstead has suffered long enough in their shadow.
The fate of Mornstead and every single soul within it is mine to decide. Fate in my hands. You would do well to remember that, Fitzroy.
Yes, Your Majesty.
Oh, my poor boy. Truths like heated iron searing shut wounds. I am almost...
my husband finally lies dead. A merciful end after a life long outlived. He is not alone.
Oh, promise. Look at what we became.
Thank you, friend. As much as it pains me, my past is clear to me once more. Regicide is rarely viewed as a favor, but for both that and your efforts in freeing me from the grip of madness, I, Queen Sophia of Mornstead, would see you rewarded with this token.
I have no more rage. No more hatred.
And I had my fill of grief and sorrow long, long ago. I cannot undo what I did. But deserved or not, all I want now is to rest.
Justin, I'm sorry. This was all my fault. I just wanted things to be better for us. Forgive me. No, get away from...
I look upon you with pity, my lost child. For you have been deceived and enslaved by forces who regard you as nothing more than an instrument through which they might enact their blasphemous will and prevent my rightful return. They speak of light while offering you nothing but blindness. Weak hypocrites relying on the malignant power of Umbral. With one breath, then decrying it with another. They brand me evil, a tyrant, and yet I offer you something they will not. A choice. Reject the fanatical crusaders and the deranged servants of the self-proclaimed judge. Dismiss all of their false dogma and the torturous mission to which they have bound you. And only then will you know freedom. And if you would hear it, the truth.
As you can see, I've been honing my skills as you instructed. And you were right. I feel my power growing every day. Soon, I swear, I will be ready.
Watching you, my devoted child. There is none more courageous who would open their eyes in a world where others would see them blind. And you have proven your strength in the felling of those sacrifices necessary, human and Rogar alike, to earn an audience with me. Welcome, and may your faith steel you further still, for your holy work is not yet done. Mankind betrayed me out of a misguided desire for their own rule, their own age. And in the millennia they have had to shape their own destiny. See what they have made of it. War, greed, hatred, suffering, chaos. They believed they were capable of shepherding themselves, but have proven themselves sorely mistaken. Mankind needs me, now more than my rune, the greatest weapon I ever created, and all it need do is exist. Such is the weakness inherent in the hearts of humans, including those arrogant enough to play at being gods. But even such a weapon can still be refined, enhanced. Blessing, the rune is made greater still. Use it to snuff out the blasphemous magic which binds me. Then confront the treacherous witch Azel, the self-proclaimed judge, and let her learn of the patience and righteous retribution of which a god is capable. Finally, the salvation of mankind is at hand. Go forth, my herald, and in my divine name, usher it in.
You're not just another deluded lamb. You know, not long ago, I saw a dark crusader carrying that same. Now it's in your hands. Again, curious. I know they'd see you rejuvenate those obscene monuments preventing Adir's Don't. That's a threat. But also advice. Adir rewards the faithful. You're starting to see through their lies. Church, crusaders, sentinels, butchers and madmen, the lot of them. Adir, the one true God, stands on the verge of finally restoring order to this broken world. And what do? Defy fucking heretics. Name's Damaros. And I'm wondering if Adir might have a purpose for you. It takes strength to survive in this world, and Mornstead's no different. Adir's got no time for the weak, and neither should you. Cut them down and take what they've got for yourself.
Look upon you with pity, my lost child. Led astray as you have been by a vile creature, who sees you as no more than a puppet to be manipulated, then consumed. I look upon you with pity, my lost child. Led astray as you have been by a vile creature, who sees you as no more than a puppet to be manipulated, then consumed. A creature whose flimsy veil of divinity is as false as it is abhorrent. But now, you stand before your true God, with an opportunity not only for redemption, but reward. You are powerful and have sought greater power. Only you walk an illusory path towards no reward, but oblivion. Only those of the greatest strength are fit to stand at my side. And I see such strength in you. Why be a slave to that which will destroy you, when you know you could be so much more? Cast aside the foul influence which has clouded your judgment. Place your faith in me, and you will obtain everything you deserve, and more. No, wretched parasite! I will not be denied!
Back from me. Couldn't stand the influence of the rune like I could when I was younger. But my head's clear now. Clearer than ever. Gods. Men good and bad. People I've hated. People I've loved. I've been told by all sorts at one time or another. that I'm nothing but a killer. A monster. Turns out they were right. Every one of them. A man can try to deny what he is, but only for so long, even if he's immortal. Well, no more. I'm done.
And so you must turn to the final progeny, that which I entwined with humble flesh to birth my sweet Eliane. Liberate her from her husk and let her soar free, if only for one rapturous moment.
Our holy... Lamp bearer!
Disappointment and shame, but finally now, in you, my efforts rewarded and her will achieved. Oh, precious Eliane. You have proven yourself, child. Now ferry them home and act our mother's will. So long have I awaited your embrace.